But in their distress they turned to the Lord, the God of Israel, and sought him, and he was found by them. 2 Chronicles 15 verse 4.
The main problem literally every small guard faces at least once in their career is going up against taller defenders. Whether this be someone 7'23" like Wimbignana, or someone as small as 6'9", we've all had this problem at least once in our journey of being a hooper. And while most people literally only look at the disadvantages of being small in basketball, I'm going to show you 10 things to absolutely humiliate any taller defender that stands in your way. And make sure you watch the entire video because I'm literally going to be giving you guys drills to do to work on these skills. Alright, so the video will be broken down into 3 sections: finishing, mid-range, and 3-pointers. And with each section, I'll give you some drills and some things to do to absolutely annihilate any tall defender. Start, let's focus on finishing. Being able to finish over taller defenders is essential, seeing as most of the shots we take in games are actually layups. And one of the best layups to use to stop getting blocked in general is outside foot finishes. Taking a closer look, we see that John Moran notices a defender behind him, and he sees that if he goes up off his second step, he'll probably get blocked. So he just puts it up after that first step. For these, you want to go 5 makes each side, and since we don't have a defender, we're going to have to get creative with the way we finish. If you're not missing at least 30% of your shots, then you need to make the drill harder. Hey, yo! Next up, we got probably the best finishing move of all time, the up and under. This move is way too versatile, and if you master it, you will truly be unblockable. Essentially, what you want to do is show the ball like you're going up on a layup, and then once the defender comes to block you, you double clutch and go under their block, which is why it's called the up and under. Make sure you're not just doing the motion to do the motion, because if you do that in game, you're gonna get the ball sent to Arkansas. What you really want to do is go up and actually act like you're going to lay the ball up, and then last second, change your mind and go under and reverse lay. Keep in mind, this does not always have to be a reverse layup. Sometimes you can go up and under while facing straight towards the basket, like MJ does here. This move is so insane that they've been doing it since the 80s.
89-84, Sixers, and they get inside. Unbelievable.
Now let's take a look at the Pinoy step. Essentially, you want to ball fake like you're about to lay it up while you're still in your stride. And on your second step, that's when you lay the ball up. This move is simple but effective and works even if you're not as athletic as some other guys. For these, make sure you're getting creative, because if you really want to get better at basketball, then creativity is your best friend. Next up, we'll be talking about flyby finishes. Essentially, a flyby finish is where you sort of slip by the defender midair. And how we do this is by jumping away from the defender when he jumps at us. This move sounds way more complicated than it actually is. And if you get it down packed, it sort of mess up any defender's timing, and you'll get a wide open layup every time. And finally, let's talk about the Euro step. And who better to look at than my main man, Mano Ginobili. If you don't know what a Euro step is, it's basically when you take your first step one direction and your second step another direction. And if we run that back, we'll see that he uses a ball fake to get his defender to jump one direction, opening the lane even more. And what I mean by get creative is mix up the different ways you're finishing. Since we don't have a defender, we have to be different with the way we finish and make it harder on ourselves. Because if you're not gonna get better. Now that we're done talking about finishing, let's look at mid-range. Now, I know a lot of y'all hate mid-range shots, and everybody just wants to shoot threes nowadays. But the truth is that you actually need a good mid-range if you want to be a good basketball player. Think about the GOATs of basketball: Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, LeBron even. They all had a good or perfect mid-range jump shot. And now that you understand that, let's get into the first drill. Alright, so the first move we're going to talk about is the fadeaway. This is one of the best moves to use if you're trying to get a shot off against a taller defender, because you're literally falling away from them as they try to block you. Now for this drill, it's really important that you get creative, because in game, no one is going to let you just dribble right up to your spot and shoot. You have to actually play like there's a defender in front of you and get by them. Next up, let's talk about the step back and the snatch back. A step back is a great way to get space for your jump shot. And when you pair this with the snatch back, let's just say it's nasty. Oh! For these, let's try to mix it up. Let's go maybe snatch back on one, step back on one, or maybe do both in one drive. But no matter what you do, say it with me, be creative. Now, let's get behind the arc and talk about some three-pointers. I know a whole lot of y'all just got aroused as soon as y'all seen Steph Curry. So without further ado, let's get into it. First up, let's talk about shots off of the screen. Keep in mind, this doesn't always have to be off the catch. You can take a dribble like he did there. If you have a cone or something to set up so it looks like there's an actual screen there, that would be perfect. But if not, then you could just do what I'm doing here. Just make sure you're actually visualizing this like it's an in-game scenario. Now let's talk about the side step or step back. Since taller players already have a hard time playing on-ball defense, if you add a little side step or step back into the mix, you'll really mess them up. Make sure when you're doing the step back, it's quick, but you also go far enough back to where you get enough space to get off your shot and not get blocked. Well, now you know how to literally clap any taller defender that stands in your way. If you made it this far in the video, please make sure to like, subscribe, and know that I really do appreciate you for, watching it through to the end. And if you want to see me 1v1 a Division II athlete, then click this video right here. Other than that, I'll see y'all next time. Peace.
Do not be afraid, just believe. Mark 5 verse 36.